defeated long enough and mistreated long enough. Queen, it's time to stand up. Queen, it's time to get up. Queen, it's time to rise. Queen, rise up.
Hey, 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 good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Rise up, queens. You know how we do. Welcome to Queen Rise Up Women Empowerment. What we do around here, we empower who you listen to do what you know your worth, and queen to know your value. When you get up in the morning, make the devil mad that you are up this morning, and make sure you got your foot on the jugular of his neck. Do you hear me? This morning, make sure you have your foot on the jugular of his neck. Girl, how do we get our foot on the jugular of the neck of the enemy? You get up and you take your rightful position and what God says concerning you. You begin to make your declarations and your decrees on what God says concerning you. When you speak it, his God word cannot return back unto him void. Listen to me. So ask me again, girl, how do I? Listen, you say what God says concerning you. If you got to get up and say, Jeremiah, good morning, Lord. Thank you for a new day, a fresh start, a new beginning. Listen, for I know today you have a plan for me. Jeremiah 29:11. Your plans for me is thoughts of peace, thoughts of love, not evil, and with an expected end. Listen, girl, how do we get our foot on the jugular of the neck of the enemy? Listen, you say what God says. Bottom line. If you're joining me today, my name is Chantel C. Ross. This is Queen Rise Up, where we sit here, or we actually meet here Monday through Friday to 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to encourage, to empower that woman to know her worth and her value. Do you hear me? Listen to me, because Queen, you are worth something. You are valuable. So this morning, I want you to open, and we just meet here. Make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you're posting, because let me share something. You got to be a part of your process. You got to get in your process. You have your part of your deliverance. Let me say that again. Oh, don't talk, don't side. No, won't be none this morning. What you gonna do? Stay on the sideline, just looking, kumbaya here? No, not cool. Get up and get part of the process. Get up and get part of your deliverance, because a lot of times we've been taught to just stay at the altar and keep begging. No, you're not gonna keep begging. Excuse me, I said like that. You're begging. No, he said, I've never seen the righteous forsaken or his seed begging for bread. So listen, you don't get up and cook. No, you ain't gotta beg for this. You ask God. You put a look. I won't use the word demand, but you start walking in what God says. You ain't got to beg for this one. Can I tell you? Remember, let's declare it. You don't have to beg for this. We're going to make some declarations and some decrees. You don't have to beg for this. If you understand who you are, you will just walk in the authority of who God says you are. So if you're, good morning, queens. Listen, I'm up this morning. Listen, listen. You don't have to beg for this one. If you understand who you are and whose you are, he's in you and him in you. Listen to me. You got this. Can I say it this morning? Listen, declare it this morning. Open up your mouth and declare it and decree it this morning. I am who God says I am. Come on. I can do what God says I can do. I am the head and not the tail. I am above and not beneath. I am more than a conqueror. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I am the head and not the tail. I am above and not beneath. I am that of a royal priesthood. Come on. Good morning, queens. Come on. I am that of a royal priesthood. I am the salt of the earth. I am the ambassador of Christ. I am the righteousness of God. I need you to get up this morning. Come on, listen. Good morning. And it is. Get a part of your process. No, you don't have to beg. You don't have to beg that you are who God says you are. You ain't got to beg on who God, listen, that you're the head and not the tail. You ain't got to beg to know that you are more than a conqueror. You just say what God says concerning you. We've been taught just to beg and beg and beg. No, and no. Asking God humbly, absolutely. Don't get me wrong. Lord, listen, whatever that thing is, but you don't have to beg. Let me tell you something. And a lot of times the church, I'm going to be very honest with you, the church, they taught us how to beg. Let me have a sip this morning. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, did I say that this morning? Lord, help me. I need security in the room. Listen, the church taught us how to beg instead of how to activate and walk in authority. Woo! Listen, when I got sick and tired of begging, come on, listen to me. I got sick and tired. Come on, don't start nothing, Jackie. I am who God says I am. Don't start nothing. Look, don't start nothing this morning. Oh, listen. Whoa, listen. You walk in who God says you are. You walk in your authority. You walk in your dominion. You walk in your power. Because he says, listen, I've given it to you according to Luke 10 and 19. Been taught to beg, roll around like Rover. You better get it according to his word. Did you hear me this morning? Listen, if you understand who you are, you do not being a part. Today's little clip is being a part of your deliverance. When you are a part of your deliverance process, whether it's mental, whether it's emotional, whether it's financial, whether it's psychological, listen to me, real talk. You do not have to violate God's principles concerning you. Let me help you this morning. When you understand who you are and what you've been called to do and purposed to do, you do not have to violate your character, your integrity as a woman. Do you hear me this morning? Oh, somebody talk to me. You do not have to do anything illegal or illegitimately when you understand. Joshua says this. Oh, good morning, Queens. It's real talk this morning. Woo! Listen. Joshua says this. Joshua 24 and 15. He says, listen, tell me who you going to serve. I am talking about being a part of your deliverance, whether it's mental, emotional, financially. Even if it's financial, you need to pick up your bed and walk. You need to choose. Good morning, Queens. You need to choose. Which way. Wait. Who you gonna serve? Let me tell you about you assignment minded, chosen. Come on, listen to me. Set apart individuals. Let me help you this morning. Your integrity, your character. Let me tell you how you handle yourself, how you conduct yourself in business. This is real talk. Let me just get this. Come on. Who you gonna serve? Let me get there. Joshua, it says, listen, let me get here. Let me go here this morning. Because now you're going to get a part of. We're good to see you, Renee, Tamala, Bonita. I see you, Queens. Don't y'all start nothing this morning. Listen to me. Nicole, I see you, Jackie. Listen, Barbara, Sandra, good morning, Queens, and welcome to Queen Rise Up this morning, because you're rising up from the inside out, not just from the outside in, and that is real talk this morning, and I am serious about it. Do you hear me? Joshua says this, because a lot of times people become offended by the things that God says to us, especially when you're living a two-part life. This thing is relational. It is an independent choice. Let me do this. It's relational. It is an independent choice. You don't choose for me. I don't choose for you. You choose what. So your responsibility is you just say what God says, shake the dust off, and keep it moving. It is relational. It is relational. And a lot of times, those who are not really, let me use this, Lord, give me the right words to say so it won't be any no conflicts of interest in this room this morning. But I want to say this. Sometimes we are in struggles in our life, and that we are. Sometimes you are making choices and your own natural instinct. I get all those things. But Joshua 24 and 15 says this. But if serving the Lord seems undesirable unto you, then you choose for yourself whom you will serve, Queen. Whether it's going to be the gods of your ancestors, and if you understand the ancestral, don't start now. Whoa! That old carnage, that fleshly desire, that woman who's always trying to prove a point to other people. Queen, just walk your walk. And be who God has called you to be. And when you start doing this, you are picking up your bed like a queen who's the ambassador of Christ. Like a queen who know they are the salt of the earth. Like the queen, come on, help somebody this morning. Oh! He says, listen, let me get back into Joshua. Because Queen, he's maturing you so you don't have to work outside. Good morning, Queens. Come on. Listen, I'm on God's side. I see my t-shirt in the room. I got a butt God. I am on, and I'm doing it G-O-D. I caught it. Whoa! S-I-D-E is going to be just as big as two left shoes. Good morning, Queens. I see it all day. I am on God's side, period. And I'm doing it. Don't call me when I make it. Don't come for me. But I'm getting ready to do it. Joshua 24:15. This thing is personal. You do not have to illegally operate outside of the will of God concerning you, because what God has for you, Queen, it is for you. Your integrity, keep it intact. Can I tell you, you are going further than just a world perspective. Let me tell you something, a worldly perspective. You are moving in the kingdom of God, where you're going to release, come on, the principles of God. So the promise of God are released. Can I just say that? Not just in your own life, but after a while, you're going to start releasing over individuals. Come on, kingdom principles. Let me tell you something. So their kingdom promises will take place. But Joshua says this. He says this. If I'm serving God, he says, if it's serving him is undesirable, he said, you got to choose. It's independent. It is personal. You have to choose. He says, whether you're going to choose your gods of your ancestors served beyond the Euphrates. He says, or the gods of the Amorites in whose land you are serving. He said, but for me and my house, we are going to serve the Lord. Joshua was taking them children to the other side. Oh, it is, Barbara, it is personal. Do you hear me? And most people, when they are up fight against the prick of what God says, they'll start making all kinds of excuses. And it's not a point to feel guilty or shame. It's time to get your personal relationship on point. Do you hear me? It is time to get your personal relationship in the right spiritual posture. It is not time to make excuses on your life. Listen to me. We talked about yesterday the man taking his responsibility of picking up his bed and walking instead of standing on the side of the pool talking about won't nobody. This is Let me help you this. Let me help somebody this morning. This is real serious talk this morning, because it is a time that somebody say the jig is up. I'd like the gig is up. The jig is up from making excuses on your life. You are who God says you are. You have to act like that. You have your response to life. I am who God says I am. What is your response when things happen? I can do what God says I can do. What is your response when life hits you? This is real talk. I'm the head and not the tail. Do you, listen to me. Or do you respond like you're beneath the thing instead of above a thing? There's two things that's going to operate. And either your flesh is going to take a position or your spiritual man going to take a position. Which one going to take the position? I'm going to help somebody there. And that's the rightful, righteous position. He says, listen, I'm serving. Me and my house. But Joshua said independently, come on, it is time to choose, Queen, real talk, not making excuses, not sitting on the sideline talking about quit. Excuse me, I'm upset this morning because I'm getting ready to say what I'm going to say. Stop judging. Listen to me. No, it's just a choice. It is not a judgment call. It is a choice. And he's saying, listen, you're going to choose life. You're going to choose death. You are going to have to choose, and it is personal. It is individual. Listen to me. How you conduct yourself. Are you going to conduct yourself like a righteous kingdom kid, or are you going to operate out of the old ancestors, the Amorite spirits? Don't start now. Let me tell you, them boys right there will have them, the Amorites and them ancestral spirits, them jokers will have you doing things that are unlawful. Come on, listen to me. That is real talk. Don't start now. I used to have she's deceased now, but she was an aunt. She was my auntie. I love her to death. The Smithereens. Every summer when we was kids, we used to go to Detroit, Michigan, and we would spend the summers with her. My father's auntie. Boy, she was a fierce. Them aunties was fierce. Do you hear me? Them jokers right there. Listen, them look. My goodness, all they had to do was shake a tail feather, baby, and it was on and popping. Can I tell you? And that is real talk. They were very confident women. They were beautiful women. Listen to me. Come on, you better pick today, and you have to choose and understand. Either I can choose God's righteousness, or I can operate out of those ancestral Amorites. So start none, won't be none. Can I tell you? Listen to me. Matter of fact, hold it, God. I'm at checkpoint because it was fierce. They were fierce. Them ancestral. Oh, them jokers was look. There was a force to reckon with. Do you hear me? They were a force to reckon with. Woo! I'm talking about them ancestral, them Amalekites, them old habits, them old ways, them old generational things. That's real talk. You're going to choose. You're going to choose them Amorites, or you're going to choose how Auntie and them live to live, or you're going to serve God, and you'll have to choose. Oh, let me have a sip this morning. You are ambassador of Christ. Sometimes we talk like we the head and living beneath. Some of us we're operating out of. What's going on the inside of that man? Woo! Queens, real talk. Do you hear me this morning? Choose ye day, this day. You got to, Queen, you got to choose. What, man, you did no, I don't do no background check on me. Listen, a background check. To find out who's really in operation. Is it that generational thing? You know how it's a girl, I'm just like this because how my mama was. You tell the devil he's a liar and the truth ain't in him. I'm just like this because this is how my auntie was. No. He said, you are a new creature come on, you're not operating in the old ancestral. I got my auntie features. That's the outside suit. But what's happening on the inside? Oh! Background check. Don't start now this morning. If you're going to break the generational curses, you cannot operate in the ancestors' Euphrates spiritual operation. Do you hear me? Woo! You cannot. Choose this day, today, who you gonna serve. All things pass away, and behold, all things become new. First Corinthians 13:11. Listen. Whew. When I was a child, listen. When I was don't start now. Look. I'm talking to you. Let's talk to the grown folks. Listen, let's talk to the grown folks that believe they're grown up. Let me help you this morning. Don't start nothing this morning. We're gonna talk to the grown folks. Whoa, listen, children, please leave the room. Listen, hold it. Wait a minute. He said, 1 Corinthians 13:11. Don't start. No, won't be none. He says, when I was a child, I talked as a child. I thought as a child. I reasoned as a child. But when I became a man, I put away the childish things. I put them away. I'm talking to the grown folk. Children, please leave the room. Listen, would you listen? Real talk. When things happen, how do you respond? Do you respond like a child? When life is, what's your response like? What's your thought pattern like? When it doesn't go your way. Oh! Children, please listen. Teacher, what do you say? Listen, come on, listen, real talk. Hey! When I was a child. So when things happen, how do you respond? Like a child? You still throwing a fit? A tantrum? When I became a man or a woman, I put away childish things. I am good. I'm excellent at just walking away from circumstances that is not profitable, that takes too much energy and time unnecessarily. Carry on. Woo! Listen. Carry on and keep it moving. That's it. I'm not going to rationalize. I'm not getting ready no. I'm not tennising unnecessary conversations, because one thing about us, we know when we are right, We know when we are wrong. We know when we are morally correct, and we understand we are morally wrong. And that is real talk. I'm talking to those who rising up from the inside out, not from the outside in. Some conversations and some things do not have to be tennis. Do you hear me? There is no back and forth. When you know that you know some things, go ahead and I will not play. Listen to me, because when I was a child, I did childish things. Then I would tennis back and forth with you. But when you understand the truth of a thing, some things you do. Listen, come on. Some things are worth and having a conversation on. I'm talking about rising up, and then there are some things you learn just to look. You just fall to the wayside and keep it moving. And this is real talk. Listen, I'm talking. Children, please leave the room. Listen, I'm talking. Listen, children, please leave the room. Listen, because when you was a child, I spoke as a child, talked as a child, rationalized as a child. Are you maturing? Are you really maturing? Or are you still following those ancestral backgrounds and backdrops on what they used to do? Listen, real talk. How are you operating in this season? Are you picking up your bed and are you walking? Are you taking accountability and responsibility for your life? Are you engaging in your own deliverance? Mm-hmm. Wow, are you engaging in your own deliverance? Or are you steady blaming and looking and tantalizing and taunting other people because you're going through your process of growing up, of maturing, stepping out of a child platform and going into your adult? Come on, let me tell you something. Wow, you stay in them 4 T's if you want to. Let me have a sip this morning. Stay in those 4 T's if you want to. No. There's a moment in time you got to decide. I got to get to them. You got to grow up. Yeah, I said 4 T's, 4 toddlers. I got a 1-year-old grandbaby. He will throw a fit at a minute if he do not get his way. Are you drinking milk or meat? Listen. Are you drinking milk or are you eating meat? And this is real talk. That man standing at that pool of Bethesda had to get to a point. And he had to choose that day whether he was going to pick up his bed and walk, or was he going to stay on the sideline of life and wait for someone to pick him up? On the sideline throwing tantrums. On the sideline talking about, give me arms. Woo! Listen. You have to choose. I am talking to the queens who are rising up from the inside out, not the outside in. Who's walking in a level of integrity. Even as you're developing from a child to the adult woman, to the adult woman, real talk. You are evolving in the spiritual realm of your life. A lot of times what you do on your actions on the external is really a reflection of what's really going on the inside of you. That's real talk. It's a reflection. Who are you? Who and what are you operating out of? A childish mindset, or a woman of God with integrity? How do you carry yourself? Oh, I hear the word silly woman. I believe that's in the Bible. Silly woman. No, queen, you are more than that. Oh. Oh! Listen. Oh. Wait. I heard the word silly woman. It's Googleable. Silly women is Googleable. We're talking about women who are taking their rightful spiritual postures to carry out the assignment. Not your assignment, but the assignment that God gave you, the purpose you were intended to carry out. Whoa! Listen. Listen. 2 Timothy 3 and 6. This is what came up. I Googled silly woman. Let me read into it. Make sure I'm in the right plane. They are the kind of women who worm their way into homes and gain control over gullible women who are loaded down with sins and swayed by all kinds of evil desires. In other words, having a form of godliness but denying God's power. Listen, Queen. Oh, good morning, Queen. Putting away. This is real talk because I know every queen in this room. We are all on different levels. Our levels of maturity. Picking up our beds and walking. But Joshua, choose this day who you gonna serve. This is an independent decision. Are you that silly woman? Or are you that righteous woman? Are you, whoa, come on, are you operating in your spiritual kingdom arena? You Deborah's, Esther's, talking to you. Whoa, listen. Do you hear me? Deborah's, Esther's, Ruth's, Naomi's. Not the silly woman. Oh, God help me this morning. I need security up in here. You will walk like you are the salt of the earth and the ambassador of Christ. Your response, check it. Whoa! Listen, check your response. Your responses to what God says is a measuring level to what and where you are. And that's real talk. You can either make excuses or get a part of your process in your deliverance and be honest with thyself. My relationship is not what it's supposed to be. I am my praise and my worship does not match my personal life. I need deliverance. Be honest with yourself. It's independent. Did you hear me? Woo! You said, since Sunday, my mindset have shifted. Queen, it has to shift. Woo! Stay in the same place. Do the same thing. And never get a different result. When I was a child, I spoke as a child. When I became a woman, I started moving like you know what, don't start. No, it won't be none. Do you hear me? Picking up your bed and walk takes a part of you, the responsibility. I only know one thing but to keep it real. Do you hear me? Woo! Don't start none. Won't be none. Listen. So there are kinds of people who smooth talk themselves in homes, unstable, needy women, take advantage of women, depressed, and their sinfulness take up. Listen to me. Listen itself. They are explained. They're very time. They're very learn. They're very really every time and never learn really. These are men who did old Egyptian frauds. Egyptians. Let's see here. Listen. Where you coming from, Queen? 6. Good morning, Queens. Is this? I'm trying to read the comment, Queen. Every reference to 2 Timothy 3 and 6. Is that what we are? I'm not really sure. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, let me go back. I see what you're saying, Queen. This was people who were coming into people's homes, taking advantage of of women, of gullible women. Come on, don't start nothing. Who were loaded down with sins. And who was loaded down with sins and swayed by all kinds of evil desires. So men were coming in, things were coming in, spirits was coming in to the home of the women that were gullible and taking control over those silly women. That's what you got to grow. You got to grow up. Listen to me, became gullible to all types of evil desires. I got you, Queen. I'm with you. Wait a minute. Listen to me. I got you. 2 Timothy. And all desires. That's why it's important to put away the childish things and you got to grow up. Let me tell you something because listen to me. Who got control over you? Who got you doing silly things? What are you gullible to? And who are you gullible to? Can I just say that? Listen to me, real talk. I got you, queens. Listen to me, because if you don't know how to guard your heart, stop growing up and walking in the integrity of who God says you are and what God says you are, that you declare over your life every single day. Can I tell you real talk? Listen, you become gullible. Don't start nothing, queen. If you're gonna listen, you're gonna choose this day who you gonna serve. You become a watch out for yourself. Real talk, or you'll find yourself doing, come on, evil things. Come on, things behind the Amorites and the Chemorite spirits and your ancestors if you don't get into your rightful spiritual position. Real talk. Come on, listen to me. Look who don't work their way up into your home. Do you hear me this morning? That you become a silly woman and start answering those silly desires. Become gullible. Listen to me. They're talking about the man, but even gullible to spirit, to different spirits that have you doing loose things, that have you doing things that are not edifying, to have you doing things that are not righteous, have you fulfilling your own lustful desires. Let me look, real talk this morning. Woo! Listen, who's gained control over your house? Or have you become that silly woman? And I'm talking to real talk this morning. You never have to violate God's principles concerning your life. What God has for you, it is for you. And a lot of times when we are not covered and kept in our righteous mind, our minds, we allow all types of excess into us. And this is real talk, especially when you are most vulnerable. I am right now, as I speak, if I wasn't on my guard and on my watch, I would be at a very vulnerable place. Do you hear me? I mind my business and stay out of everybody else's mix. Woo! Listen, I'm not answering all the DMs. Did you hear me? I'm not responding to the Amorites and the Amalekites. None of those generational things. Very vulnerable. Do you hear me? But you got to choose who you're going to serve. Even if they're sitting on my door, knocking on my door, and sitting on my spiritual back porch. You have no access. Listen. Don't give them access this morning. Do you hear me? When you were a child, you put away childish things. You talked as a child. You walked as a child. But when you became a woman, you have to. Let me have a sip this morning. Don't become like the silly women. And a lot of times, silly things happen. You're not standing in your rightful spiritual posture. You are allowing the worms to gain access and control over your gullible. Come on, taking advantage of your weakness. Taking advantage of your fleshly desires. I'm talking real talk this morning. You never have to violate. That's why you got to know who you are. Wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove. Real talk. Listen. Matter of fact, it says sway. Don't let anybody sway you. Let no one sway you. Small foxes will tear up the whole vine. Queens, this is why it's so important to who you are attached to and who wants to attach themselves to you. Let me have a sip this morning. Give me a minute. Sometimes you don't even know what you're promoting and who you're promoting. Let me have another sip this morning. I need security. Woo! Listen! Did you hear me? You have to be careful. Watchful. Real talk. And don't become a silly woman. Listen to me. Be confident and sure. When you are confident and you are sure in what God says about you, who and what are you promoting? Don't start none this morning. Real talk, can I tell you? Hey! Listen. Who and what are you promoting? Oh, let me have a sip this morning. But when you have confidence and boldness in Christ, he that is in you is greater than he that is in the world. He'll take the foolish things and confound the wise. Queen, real talk. Don't let nothing come into your homes and to gain control over your vulnerability. Do you hear me? That you become that silly woman. I'm talking real talk today. You don't have to live less than, under. You are above and not beneath. You are the head and not the tail. You are more than a conqueror. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. You are the salt of the earth. You are the ambassador of Christ. I am talking to all those gullible areas. Woo! Come on. That makes you a target to evil desires that are brought in by others, or even how others have made you feel about you. Queen, you never have to. Good morning, Queen. You never have to subject yourself to those ancestral Amalekites, your ancestors. This is real talk. Do you hear me? To get what God has for you. You don't have to, listen to me, in those places where you are gullible. And a lot of times when you're gullible, you're thinking as a child. Listen, real talk. You're talking as a child. Don't know. Let me help you. Let me just do this. Don't nobody really do this for me. Let me help you. I'm just doing it. Can I just be real with you? Ain't nobody gonna do this for me. They don't want none. They don't get none. I'm talking to you. Come on, children, please leave the room. I'm talking to you. Listen to me. No matter of fact, stay in the room. Listen to me, real talk. Because when I was a child, I spoke as a child. I thought as a child. I rationalized as a child. I did childish things. But when I became a woman, I put away childish conversations. So when that moment when you feel like you are not enough, I'm talking to the woman, child, please leave the room. I am who God says I am. Woo! Come on, put them away. Listen to me, because what happens if you don't close up them gaps and when you're gullible, all kinds of things will start seeping in. Real talk. Good morning, Dana. Good morning, Queen. Listen, the grace of God, real talk. Matter of fact, I think what I do a shirt the other day. God says I am enough. God's grace says that you are enough. I want to talk to the child who's growing up. Listen, becoming that one man. So when you are feeling deserted and stranded, you got to know that God will never leave you. He will never forsake you. He will be with you always until the end of the world. I'm talking, come on, children, you got to leave the room. Woo! Listen, I'm talking to that woman who is growing up in her spiritual realm. When you don't get the invitation, there's a bigger party that you've been invited to. Yes, and then the table has already been prepared for you. I'm going to help somebody today so you don't have to operate out of that old mindset, that childish way. Let me say that again. Maybe you didn't get the invitation or the invite to the dinner or to the memorial, to the picnic. Listen, there is a table that has already been prepared for you greater than that. Come on, child, you got to leave the room and talk to that thing that's causing you to be gullible and allow evil things to come in. And you start doing things outside of and speaking outside of who God says you are. This real talk this morning, I know it is. Wow, good morning. And what God is doing, He's just renewing your mind from that old nature to the new creation. Some of you are battling between the old man and that new man, and we will constantly have a battle until Jesus Christ comes. Do not compromise your assignment. Don't start none, won't be none. You hear me? Don't compromise. Woo! Let me have a sip this morning. As your motor pure, the Holy Spirit always be on time. This is because it's time. We are. You have to be assignment minded. Either God's assignment or your assignment. Joshua said, listen, choose this day who you're going to serve. Your assignment or God's assignment. Listen. Yay! Come on. It's an independent choice. That it is. When you start maturing from a childish thoughts and moving into that womanhood, that woman of God that God is positioning and calling for the assignment. Because a lot of times when you're on the level where you are still speaking in a childish manner, you are gullible. Children are so gullible. Come and get this piece of candy, you can have it. Gullible. Mama taught a stranger danger. Oh, listen. But when you're a child, you are so gullible. Things can snatch you up before you know it. Real talk. Have you swayed away by all kinds of evil desires? Independent choice. Come on, independent choice. Don't stop now. Independent choice. You hear me? It is. And Joshua wasn't being judgmental. He was just making a statement. Choose this day who you're going to serve. Whether it be given, if serving God is undesirable, just choose. That's not a judgment call. That's a relationship. You choose out of your relationship. Because the God I serve is a jealous God, and you can't serve two masters. It's either one or the other. That's not a judgment call. That's personal. That's personal. It is. Choose this day who you going to serve. It's an independent choice. It's an independent choice. But sometimes he says, how, not even sometimes, he says, how can one hear unless it's, sometimes we need our coach checked. Sometimes we need someone to pop the collar. Sometimes we need someone to tug our shirt. Yeah, you might not like the tug, but woo! Do your personal relationship match your worship tug? Let me just tell you. He's just asking a question. Question. Do your personal relationship match your worship? Do your worship? That's a question he asks. And when it doesn't, all you're saying, get your life. Come on, let's roll. Let's get it together. Let's. That's all. Win. Just a little talk. He said, I didn't come to break a law. I came to fulfill a law. Fulfill my laws. And a lot of times, I feel like God be breaking laws when when he's fulfilling his laws, because he's coming against. Woo! Listen. He comes against excuses. He comes against our rationality. It's like you trying, God, you said you came to fulfill. Feel like you're breaking something. He is. He's breaking up fallow ground to fulfill. Did you hear me? Breaking up wrong mindsets, patterns, strongholds, places we've been operating out of for years thinking it's all right and it ain't all right. Hey! He came to fulfill his laws, spiritual laws. Don't start, no, it won't be. No. Queens, when you come, it'll add, what you say, Jackie, it'll make sense after a while. But if you're gullible, you're operating out of a childish mindset, things will gain control over you, come up into your gullibleness, come up into your spiritual homes. Whew. Just think about some of the things we've done when we've been most gullible, when we're still speaking on a childish level, still thinking like an immature woman. You'll pick up that phone when God is trying to get the best out of you woo! Come on, listen to me. When he's working, talking to the silly woman. When you know that thing doesn't benefit you, but you still make a childish decision. Or you want to rationalize. I can do a little of this and I can do a little of that. I need the child to leave the room and the woman to stand up. You are on an assignment and purpose. That's real talk. He says, Granddad said when I asked him what he meant, he told me, keep on living. Oh, you'll come to me. Listen to me. You'll come to you before you die. Real talk. Keep on living. You'll live. Don't start now. Don't start now. It won't be none. Keep living. You got to choose. Don't live as a silly woman. Queen, your assignment is too big. This is why he says, guard your heart and guard your mind. Protect what comes in and what goes out. Something will carry you away so easily from the assignment. While you're trying to prove how great you are in your own. When God already said, you are fearfully and wonderfully made. You are the head and not the tail. What's on your territory? What have you allowed in? Where are you gullible at? Sometimes we can be so gullible even. Someone make us mad, angry. Then we'll start doing things to optimize or to maximize the anger versus choosing to do the righteous thing. Being fully persuaded by your own mind. Don't start none. Real talk, you hear me? Because I promise you, where I am right now, if I wanted to, in all my gullibleness, if I wasn't on guard and on point, understand I'm on assignment. Not just Facebook, TikTok. There's all kinds of stuff going on. Did you hear me? And some of them in the background, guess what they use real good? Because they know who you are. Would you pray for me? Let me tell you something. If you don't pay attention to that gullibleness, you'll be carried off as a silly woman. All platforms, do you hear me? All of them. Tickety talk. Facebook. I'm sipping. Don't start. No, I won't be now. Do you know when you know who you are and whose you are? Woo! You won't become, or you will walk out of being that silly woman. You won't keep allowing people to creep inside your house. The spirit of your mind. Let me have this. That weak woman. That woman with that childish mind. Things taking you captive. When God says he came to set the captives free. You don't have to operate out the Amorites or the old ancient ancestors. Do you know myself as a woman of God? I know what I know what I know what I got. I know. I am not naive to Chantel C. Ross. Do you hear me? I am not naive. I understand every sculpture and every feature that I have. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? I know. You got to know that you know. And when you know that, you still carry yourself like you are a woman with an assignment on your life. Do you hear me? There are some women we call you just know that you know. But how do you handle what you got? That is not a conflict of interest. Do you hear me? And sometimes it doesn't take much. It could take a rising of a hand. It'll speak. Did you hear me? And it will speak. Woo! Listen. You gotta choose who you're gonna serve. You don't even gotta go the extra mile. Do you hear me? Protect your mind. Guard your heart. This is why he said you gotta choose who you're gonna serve. You gotta choose who you're gonna serve. So when you start operating and moving, you better make sure you're carrying the right power, the right energy. Do you hear me? Hey. Because you will start attracting the wrong things that will eat off your gullibleness, that will eat off your low self-esteem. Queen, I was trying to make it this morning. Do you hear me? Don't stop now. Look. I went with but God, period. Because it was quick to do this morning. Do you hear me? I only had a few minutes because you gotta weed them out. So, but God, period, was easy. Person, here we are. But do you hear me? Knowing the assignment, walking on the assignment, Queen, is two different things. Do you hear me? But God, when he touches you, you will be completed because you will want to. Real talk. Real talk. And maybe today you are a little off in your relationship with Christ and in the kingdom of God and what he's telling you to do and things of that nature that you have taken. Come on, real talk. Woo! Listen. Come on, many have. Come on, listen, Queen. Listen. Many miles I traveled smoking crack in the darkness. Don't you know what? But God kept me when many died on crack. Come on the crack team. But he covered me in his blood. Amen. And Jackie, I believe along that journey, everyone had a choice. You just took your choice and you chose. Everybody, God does not leave anybody without an opportunity. I do. Whether you're in the lowest valley or the highest mountain, he does not leave us without opportunity. Do you hear me? To choose. Every one of them had an opportunity. I promise you, God is just that just. And he is just that faithful. Because it reigns on the just as well as the unjust. Real talk. Woo! Listen. And that is real talk. But Queens, he is rising up. Come on, God knows. He does. He knows your name. And maybe you're just out of alignment. Maybe you just get back into the right place, in the right position concerning the things of God. Maybe you allowed those things to come into your home and you were gullible. Maybe you've been rationalizing and thinking, you know what, out of your past, out of your experiences. And let me real talk. You hear me? And maybe that's you this morning. You're like, listen, oh God, I am out of, and I have taken this thing out into my own evil desires or what I think or what I feel due to my gullibility, my lack of. It is never too late. Do you hear me? To turn that thing around. His grace is sufficient. Just come back in. Tell God, can I do this? Let's do this again. Let me take my assignment. Work my purpose that I've been chosen for and destined for. That my inner beauty is it's the beauty that we are to possess is in the inward. In the inward. Maybe your gullibility and how you feel about yourself has been expressed in a childish way. Oh, new mercies every day. Maybe how you're expressing yourself has been done according to the Amorites or the ancestors and the generational things that we are so familiar with. He said, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Don't be conformed to this world. We do not operate out of its system. We don't get what God has for us by exploiting who we are. Let me have a sip this morning. When I was a child, I spoke as a child. He is grateful every single day. Opportunity to start over. Let me do this thing again. Let me do this. God, let's do this again. Let me recommit my ways unto you. Lord, let my personal life and my worship life, let it be, let them match. Listen. Joshua, today, who you going to serve? And God will heal those spots where you are gullible, where you don't feel like you are enough, where you feel like you may be unaccepted, where you wasn't invited to the party, where you feel like, you know what, nobody want to roll over here with me. Do you hear me? You better sup with God. Don't start nothing and keep it moving. So you don't have to sup with those evil things that come in to take control of your vulnerability. Sometimes we do things because of the lack of a self-esteem, but we do this to show that we are confident. I'm just as confident in the things of God if I sit back. I am still the same confident woman in Christ and his boldness. Queen, when you are happy, come on, listen to it, go by myself. Don't stop, no, won't be none. Be happy with yourself, be confident with yourself. So you don't allow things to come into your home, you become that silly woman. Oh, I'm in a place I could be real silly. I can be so silly. But is it worth my assignment? Absolutely not. It is not worth the assignment. Being a part of your deliverance, you take responsibility and true accountability for where you are. If you know you are struggling with those areas on your life, stay out of the back door. Let me help you. If you know that you are let me just say how I see it. Let me just do this. If you're dealing with lust, if you know what you are capable of and where you are weak and where you are not strong, stop answering. I'm going to help somebody this morning. Give yourself what you need to stand up on the inside. If that's where you are, if you're struggling in other areas of your life, Queens, can I just drop this with you real quick? Let me just drop this on you. When I say I know Chantel C. Roberts, and before she, and who I was in the background, my maiden name, Queens, it don't take a rocket scientist for me. It don't take a rocket scientist for me to know when to back up, when to move back. And sometimes it might not be your track record, but it could be somebody else's track record. You got to know when to, whoa! You got to know when to hold him, and you got to know when to fold him. You know when to shake and not to shake. I'm going to help somebody today. God is my keeper. Don't starve now. Closing the doors to your vulnerability. This is real talk. Listen. And it may not just have to be those certain areas of your life, but what other area of life are you allowing the doors to sway? Ooh. It's time to put away those childish things. It's time to stop talking in those childish ways. It is time to put them away. It is time to choose who you gonna serve. It is time to pick up your beds and walk. Stop blaming the fact that you had how long you gonna keep playing a role to your dilemma as as a kid. What are you going to do after you realize that you've listen, your father walked out on your family? What are you going to do? Your mother turned her back on you. What are you going to do? Your family doesn't accept you for who you are. What are you going to do? They left me, they divorced me. What are you going to do? My aunt or my uncle touched me. What are you going to do? You got to be a part of your deliverance. How long are you going to allow those things to affect? I watched my mother be abused by my father. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Are you going to stay at that side of that pool and keep begging? Or are you going to get up and get a part of your deliverance? What are you going to do? They took all the money. Are you going to stay on the side of the road and keep begging? Or are you going to get a part of your deliverance and write it down and make it plain that God give you business ideas, witty inventions? What are you going to do? Woo! So watch out, people, for who has been benefiting from your brokenness. Don't start none that has benefited from your brokenness, healing yourself, makes them have, come on, give them more control. Listen to me, you better watch out. Don't be gullible, taking advantage of your vulnerability. Those who have, be a part of your deliverance. Part of my deliverance, queens, can I tell you, I went and got me some counseling. I'm going to help somebody today. God is a mighty counselor. But until he was able, when he was able to step in and get into them places in my life, I went through counseling. Because I wasn't staying there anymore. I was going to be a part of it. I wasn't answering no, I'm not answering no DMs. I'm not, none of that. Do you hear me? The places where I was struggling, where I was vulnerable and gullible. You better write them down and make them plain. Do you hear me? I'll never be broke again. Don't start none this morning, queens. I'm talking about choosing. Because let me tell you something. In this Christian way, we can be so deep and so lost. Deep lost. So traditionally structured without a relationship. Because it sounds good. Or the echo of sounding anointed. Can I say that this morning? But you ain't got no power to recognize the spirit of discernment. Oh, don't start none this morning. Stay focused on the assignment. Deep but lost. And let me tell you how I learned. Can I just say it? I've been watching. Oh. I've been watching. I've been listening. And I also lived the life. Do you hear me? Running around church for years. I was still locked up. Do you hear me? Sung in the choir like I was sitting at the heavenly gates. Still locked up. I'm going to help you. Now, see. Woo! We must know our role in our relationship with God. Know your role. Know your role. Don't start nothing. Know your role. So that your relation with Father is mature. And it is personal. Even when Joshua said choose, he says, listen, Queen locked up. He said, this is an independent choice. It's an independent decision. If you don't desire, you just choose. But for me and mine, that's how it is. That is not a judgment call to anybody else in this room. This is personal. It's an independent choice. But you choose. I can't choose for you. You can't choose for me. Only thing you can get the information, you can get the knowledge. It's up to you to apply it. It's up to you to be a part of your own deliverance, and that's real talk, can I tell you? There are things you must overcome. Money, people, and time. Master them. Yeah, before they master you. Good morning, Queen. Real talk, can I hear you? You hear me? And sometimes when we're struggling, we kind of fight against the prick. Come on, let's type what is right. We'll fight against the prick. When God begins to set charge, when he begins to speak to you and dealing with you as the individual, and he'll use a voice to speak that thing into you. Woo! Sometimes you'll feel like they are, now you want to be the judge. No, I'm not the, I am nobody. I am nobody's plumb line. The Holy Spirit is the plumb line. We're just voices working in the assignment. It is up to you to catch and to carry and to move and to shift. That is on you. And that is real talk. Do you hear me? That is on you. Don't kick against the prick. Don't start none, won't be none. Woo! As it is with you, it's the same thing applies to me. You either going to handle your children according to the will of God, or you going to keep working out of your ancestral background. You will listen. Do you hear me? Will you treat them as they are the inheritors and you need help? Tell God to help you co-parent. Been there, done that. Do you hear me? This real talk. It is what it is. It is what it is. It is. And the only reason why God comes for us in that sometimes to get us back into alignment in love, in grace, in mercy. So that, listen to me, and whenever you're feeling a place of conviction, it's only because that's his chastisement. That's his love for us. That's someone's call on your life. His conviction. Listen, real talk. Listen. I know I'm taking notes. I'm sorry now. Really? No one has a place, a heaven or a hell. Joshua wouldn't have a heaven or a hell to put them people in. He just said, make a decision. You choose. Because you're gonna put yourself, you're gonna put yourself there. Listen, let me get up out of here. Did the children leave the room? Listen, when I was a child, I put away childish things, childish thoughts. But when I became a woman, I started thinking like a woman. We are not silly women. You are not a silly woman. You are a woman with purpose and an assignment. You don't have to respond illegitimately. Walk your walk and choose who you're going to serve. Rise, you know what? Don't start. None won't be none. Rise up from the inside out, not the outside in. Woo! Queens, rise up. Oops. Queen, rise up. Queen, rise up. Woo! Queen, rise up. Queen, rise up. Woo! You are sitting in heavenly places. Woo! Listen. You got to come off that childish level that still has you entertaining external positions. Woo! That have you entertaining external positions. The kingdom of God is not by observation, but it is within you. It is not. It is within you. Because queens are being sidetracked by external affairs. Their gullibility. And for some of us, it might not be men coming in and taking control of your gullibleness, but it could just be low self-esteem, not feeling valued enough. So we do things to compensate our value. We do things. In our carnal life, and it's never too late to come to get into the position that God has intended for you. Queens, you have a lot of influence. Can I tell you? You are more powerful sometimes than you even think you are. Your words carry weight. Even the raising of your hand. I'm trying to tell you. This is why you have to choose who you gonna serve. Who you gonna work for. Who are you going to allow to operate through you? Choose. Choose. We are not waiting for the last days. You are in it. Some of you still wasting time playing with that carnage that carnal mentality. Don't get caught. Hey. Get a part of your deliverance. May be painful, but when your painfulness is profitable. When your pain is profitable for the assignment, you won't be afraid to tell Barney bye-bye. You won't be afraid to let go of those vices you've been so familiar with. Locked and don't start, no, won't be none. Do you hear me? You won't be afraid for them to walk out. You ain't got to go check up on Barney anymore. And he ain't got to check on you. It's quiet. I can hear a pin drop up in here. Holy Spirit, I thank you this morning. You are in the end times. To God be the glory. Take the meat, leave the bones. If you need to start over, come in. Listen, Lord, I need to start this thing over. A new beginning, a fresh start with you. Help me to mature into the woman that you have called me to be. God, give me the tenacity. Woo, listen. Don't start none. God, show me how to recognize in my spirit of discernment to go on to the next level. To know whether I am in a gullible place. Listen to me. This is real talk. Start talking differently. Queen, he is. He loves you too much to leave you in that state or that one-track mind. That one-track mind. Ooh. Somebody say, I'm growing up. Because I'm growing up in the things of God. Woo! I'm getting ready to go, Queens, because we getting ready to go over the body reset. Don't start now. I'm so excited to get up this morning. We getting ready to go over the body reset. We are not just resetting our mind, but also creating healthy eating habits. Listen to me, getting the information, getting the knowledge, and carrying it out. Getting the teachings, getting what we need, making sure we got the tools, equipped. Can I just say that? Activating and releasing. Listen, real talk. It is not too late to join us over on Body Reset. We are only into day 4. The first 3 days was setting up the giving you the tools and information, which we if you come on board, we'll just run through them real quick for you to give you the tools, to give you information if you are new to the platform. And then we just start our 30 minutes and then we have virtual breakfast. It's just that simple. Can I tell you, you are still welcome to join me over on Body Reset. We're getting ready to run over there. I got 30 minutes to get myself in the right position. Real talk. Can I say it? Listen to me. And may you go back over Joshua 24. Let's go back a little bit so you have something to work with this morning. Joshua, I'll go the way that I came in first. Joshua 24:15. Who you gonna serve? Then we went to 1 Corinthians 13 and 11. Don't stop now, Queen. 13 and 11. And then we did Timothy 2, 3, and 6. Make sure you are locked. You are loaded. This is real talk. Can I tell you? Go back and get this for yourself, because there are other things that God will show you as you are maturing, coming from that childish woman and moving up to that mature woman, and understand that God's maturity and the world's maturity is two separate. Woo! It's two separate things. I'm gonna help you. Can I tell you this morning? They are two separate things. The world maturity works in the carnal mind in a carnal way, but God's maturity works in the spiritual realm. Let me help you this morning. In His righteousness, there's a difference. There's a difference. Listen, so make sure you lock and load and you get those things in your spirit. See how God's going to, because you got to be a part of your deliverance. Can I say it? But guys, I want you to meet me over on Body Erase. Hit the replay. You got to hit the replay. Don't start now, won't be none. And Queens, listen to me. This is I did this morning. God, period, is available as well. You are welcome to. Come on, Rasha, listen to me. Queens, you're rising up from the inside out, not from the outside in. Matter of fact, when I see the fire, I think just like this. He's burning up. Come on. Come on. He's like a refining fire. Come on. He's cleaning up. He's purifying. Come on. He's empowering. Jeremiah said his fire was like, come on, it was like fire up in his bones. Can I tell you, there is something about the power of God and the fire of God. Come on, it burns, it severs, it cleans up, it refines. Can I tell you, my God, period. Don't start nothing. I need period with some fire. Don't start none, won't be none. Period. Do you hear me? He's doing an inside work, not an outside work. Yeah! I got to get up out of here, period. Don't start, no, won't be none. Listen to me. Woo! I need to tell those on the assembly line to get in position right now. Listen, I need you to create it in this color, this font. Do it just like that. Get it done. Listen, Michelle, in your bones. Can I say that? But Queens, listen to me. Join me over 15 minutes. This will be our fifth day. Security up in here. Can I say it? Take the meat. Woo! Leave the bones. If that don't sound like a grow up, a mature place, take the meat. Leave the bones. And let's go. Woo! And get it done. I got to get up out of here. It's 11:30. I need to be on time. 10 o'clock. See if I can get it done this morning. Listen to me. And on time. Listen to me. Because if not, I mess around going overflow and everything flows over. Listen, everything comes behind it. But listen, yeah, guys, you are welcome to join me over on Body Reset. Listen, if your heart is in the place that you desire to give, I'm going to put up for you. If you desire to, you can choose this day. If you would like to, that's Queen Rise Up #1. That's my Cash App, PayPal, and Zelle. At the end of the day, ChantelGR5@gmail.com. And it is out. You can choose this day if you want to bless us. If you want to bless her, you choose this day. Real talk. But thank you for everyone who has been supportive. I appreciate you today in Jesus' name. If this word in any way have touched your heart and you just want to be a blessing, you know how to be a blessing. It can be a dollar or two. All I got is two. Give me 50. You can get 50 cents. I'm just kidding. Don't fool with her. But listen, we're getting ready to go into a new month. We have agreed in this month of 2020, where we're going to do our $22 a month. There are some who have been committed. There are some who have been eating off the table or found a ministry that has blessed them and showing $22 just for the year of expectation. I'm going to tell you, he's been showing up and he's been showing off, because 2022 and $22 was a year of expectation. And so I don't know if you committed. I don't know if you've done it. I don't know if you sown a seed into the ground, but I put it out there that it's optional. So June is a new fresh month. You just want to be a blessing, just to be that, and we do it every single month. $22 as a seed sowing into Queen Rise Up. The ministry of Queen Rise Up. If this is, or you can choose one of your favorite ministries outside of Queen Rise Up, and make sure, because my thing is this: if it's not going to be here, let it be somewhere. If someone is blessing you, has been a blessing to you, be a blessing unto them. I don't care if it's from Queen Rise Up, to TD Jakes, to I don't care. Just sow something into their hands for just helping you make it to the next step, or making to the next base, for being an encouragement to you, for being an empowerment. It don't have to be Queen Rise Up, but make sure, because sometimes we come to the table and we just take. You growing and God using people to help you. And they did that often with Peter, with Paul. Paul would come in and do what God says him to do, and they would just pour at Paul's feet because he did what God has purposed them to do, and chains are broken, and fetters are falling off, and legions are being dealt with. Let me say, legions are being dealt with. Can I tell you, deliverance is taking place, shifts are taking place, healing is taking place, soul ties are being broken, and there is things happening. So if you go onto those platforms and they have been a blessing unto you, be a blessing unto them. And sometimes we don't even know how. Maybe a share, maybe a like, maybe a post, maybe it's in giving. But listen to me, those who have been following me with Queen Rise Up and have decided to, what, every month I'm going to pour, there is the Cash App and PayPal. So I'm just going to walk in that. Amen. In Jesus' name. You want to do the body reset, you can email me as well. Guys, I will see you guys on the other side. Make sure you remember to check out Queen Rise Up. Come on, God, you know what? Queen said, this is good ground. I am so, Queen, let me tell you something. That is important to me. Good ground. Let me tell you something. Real talk. It got to be. I wouldn't do it any other way. I probably wouldn't even win this level if it wasn't good ground. This is just how I am. If it's not good ground, I'm not even pouring into good ground. I'm gonna let you know that right now. I promise you, if it is not good ground, let me have a sip. I don't play with my seed because I understand the principle behind it. And that is real talk. So don't play with yours. Can I say that? I will expect the same from you. Woo! Listen! Come on, Taylor. Don't start now. Won't be now. You hear me? I do not play with my seed. I don't play with my salvation. On all 3 platforms. Don't start now. Queen, is it 3? Is it really? Only but God. Can I say that? Period. Don't play with your seed. Because I sure ain't playing with mine. Sipping. Don't start. No, won't be no. And I would expect the same out of you. And I know, just give it to them. It's up to them what they do with it. But I still want it to grow. Do you hear me? And I still want it to produce spirit, soul, and body. Don't mess around and kill my seed. Because you live in half. Ah! Listen, a half in, a half out. I got to get up out of here. Let me look. That's in my seed. That's in your ground. Because the more you weed out, the more life in the ground you walk on. Do you hear me? Woo! I'm gonna get up out of here. Don't mess up my. There's good seed in this ground. Can I tell you some seed in this ground? It is. There's seed in this ground. And can I tell you, I am watching. They're moving, shifting, growing, talking, pivoting, shifting. They're not in the same place. Jumped on the bandwagon. Don't start, no, it won't be none. Do you hear me? There's seed in this ground. What a responsibility. You hear me? What a responsibility to know that your seed is in this ground. What a responsibility that is. What a fight. What a revelation. Yeah. Ah! Woo! There it is. But Queen is worth it. It's worth it. Tara, good to see you, Queen. I don't know what that last comment was, but I couldn't catch it. It didn't come up in the feed. That was to Tara. I see you, Tara, but I didn't see that last comment. Don't stop. Queens, I gotta maximize it. I need to get up out of here. Oh my God! Wait a minute. But can I say this before I go out? No, you already know I'm coming over there to the other side over on Body Reset where we are doing what we called to do. The other day, Queens, I found this book, this notebook. This is where it all started. Behind this book, that's my face. Stepping out by faith, Queen Rise Up and Know Your Worth. Queen Rise Up Empowerment. March 1st, 2018. I had wrote the vision down. And start 2018. Do you hear me? 2000. On 3/14, he began to say, I've given you delegated authority to carry this thing out. Listen, it's time to quit playing Queens. Real talk, can I tell you? Then I started looking, Queens, I'm coming. I'm coming because come on. Because some of you done wrote it down and made it plain. He has spoken to you about your dreams, your visions, your purpose, what he's going to do. He's giving you delegated authority to operate in. What you waiting for? Listen! Delegated authority. Here where I experienced the spirit of fear to bring this thing to fruition. Do you hear me? Fear. Gripped. Then began to give me vision, and I said, Lord, I was anxious. All kinds of. Woo! Then he began to speak, and he said, listen, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. Listen. Then he said, he gave me the vision. On 3/20, I asked a co-worker, because I didn't know what to do with Queen Rise Up, her logo, her font. I asked a co-worker who worked in the building, I need you to help me with my logo. She said, give me a couple of days. I could feel it in me, but I didn't know how to get it. Wow! How to get it out. So she started showing. I said, this is it. How much do I owe you? She says, because I know the person you are and the things that you're going to do with it, it is free. Woo! Listen. Don't start now. Won't be now. Queens, work, you gotta put away. You gotta put away those childish things. I gotta get up out of here. What are you holding back and what are you waiting for? Now things has changed because now the book looks like this. It went to the next level. I basically took my face off of it because I didn't know. I was just gonna jump. I'm just gonna go. This font was created by Queen Rise Up. Don't start now. As a matter of fact, this one says Queen Know Your Worth. You know what? Maybe this be the next t-shirt. Queen Know Your Worth. Don't start none. This one, Queen Know Your Worth. Just like that. I got to get up out of here. I got less than 15 minutes, 13 minutes to get to the other side. Queen Know Your Worth. Whoa, listen. I got to get up out of here. Y'all know what? Take the meat, leave the bones. I don't even know how I even got here, but I just started looking at vision, purpose, assignments. Where you got to deal with things. And when you start dealing with other things, it produces other fruitful, godly assignments. Real talk. Queens, y'all join me over on Zoom. Please do. Make sure you check out QRU's apparel line. Come on, real talk. I want to know, but Queen, I will submit the link. I'll send the link. I'll post it. You know how we do. Oh my goodness. And now understand, even in here with the notebooks, period. They go through the people who basically manufactured for me, which is Zazzle. Zazzle manufactured these for me at this time, because when I started this, I was getting the brand out, getting the logo out. So I will get you the link, even with the cups and everything. Eventually, it will be in Queen Rise Up LLC production. Can I just say that? Just let you know, LLC's back up. But right now, I will send the link. It still attached to me. However, the point of this was marketing. The point of this was getting Queen Rise Up out there, seeing that logo. Can I tell you? So I learned how to use what I had until I got where God is of where I was going. So I will send the link and those things like that. But Queen, it is time to get up. It is time to rise up, and it's time for you also. Once you get empowered, I know, Queen. I hear you. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Already know, Queen. Do you hear me? It's so much on the table. I know it, Queen. Don't start, man. Listen, y'all got me hot up in here. I got 15 minutes. Matter of fact, let me start getting set up even while I'm right here. I'll see you guys on the other side of Queen, over on Body Reset. It's not too late to join. It's not too late to be a part of it. It is never too late. But please join me. To God, Tara, to God's real talk. Do you hear me, Queen? Do you hear me? I know it. Nothing more, nothing less. I know. To God be the glory. But they didn't. Lord have mercy, child. They don't tell me. They didn't tell me what's gonna take all this. Guys, I love you. You guys be blessed. I'll see you on the side with Zoom. Don't forget to check out the t-shirt line with QRU. You guys, I know I post. God is my keeper. Come on, it is doable. You want it, you got it. Can I say that? The year that you got into God's army, and I will customize your dates for you. So please let me know. Listen to me. If you are I Am God's Heavenly Medical Team, it is available. Listen to me. You already know. Don't start none. Listen, don't start none. Won't be none. Choose your colors. Come on, choose your own colors, your t-shirts. And that's real talk. You know, we already got the Queen Rise Up tees. The butterflies. I'm just going through real quickly. The beautiful. Grab them. I'm just going. I need to create a whole video. Listen to me. Find joy in your journey. Real talk. Can I say it? This is just to name a few. Queens, know that I love you. Right here on Queen Rise Up. I'll see those on the other side. In today's new one, but God, period. Woo! Listen, somebody say, but God, period. This t-shirt is available as well. Queens, I love you. Inbox me for anything you may need or want or need to reach out for. Know that I love you. God bless you. Thank you for joining me here on Queen Rise Up. And remember, leave the bones and take